What's up, YouTube? It is Darian, the Bowtie Fragrance Guy, on the channel where we talk about fashion as well as fragrance. So if you're interested in fashion or fragrance related content, consider subscribing to the channel, and also make sure you, hit that bell icon as well. That way you get notified anytime I upload new content on the channel. So on today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about 10 fragrances I have in my collection that I would classify as addicting fragrances. And what I mean by that is, whether I've already put my fragrance on for the day or whatever the case may be, when I seem to walk by my fragrance collection, these are some of the fragrances that I just pick up and just take a sniff. I mean, these are fragrances that I cannot get enough of smelling these fragrances. So in that way, I say these are some addicting fragrances. I mean, I don't know, it may just be me. I may just be a weird person. Maybe nobody else in the world does that. Maybe nobody else just, for no reason at all, is walking by their fragrances and have certain ones that they just constantly pick up just to get a whiff from the nozzle. I mean, I don't care what season it is, what time of the day, none of that stuff matters. These are just some of the fragrances I love smelling. So I'm going to be talking about some of those scents, fragrances that I have in my collection. So of course, quite naturally, if you guys want to see what made the list, you know how we get down, man. Keep it locked right here. Let's get it.
The Bowtie Fragrance Guy.
All right, guys, we're back. Thank you so much for keeping it locked in. We're going to go ahead and jump into this list of 10 fragrances. Really quickly before I go through the 10, guys, I just want to show you, I do have the bottle in hand now. I told you guys my fragrance from Novitus Ode was renamed to Lyric. And I have the bottle in hand, man. Check that out. Lyric from Novitus Parfum, which of course is my collaboration with Novitus. Of course, Mr. Dominique Ropion himself had a hand as a perfumer in this fragrance, and it's just an amazing scent. I mean, honestly, I can say that there's a lot of people that have had their hands on this, their nose on it, and everybody has said the same thing. It's a standout. So again, just to show you guys, it's the same bottle. Nothing's really changed. Although on the top of the way Novitus is doing their bottle caps now, the name and the logo, well, the name of the company is actually on the top of the bottle now. I mean, and it's not on Ode, because they were not doing that at the time. But other than that, same exact fragrance, man. So if you haven't gotten your hands on this yet, man, make sure you pick it up. Lyric, or either, of course, Serenade, which is the other fragrance I did with Novitus, man. Head on over there and pick those up, man. Support your boy. You know, the project I did with Novitus, support that, man. Go over and pick those fragrances up. I think they're on sale now for about $156. So, you know, definitely a steal at that price for the quality you're getting in these fragrances, man. So head on over to Novitus. I always link it down below. I think you can get an extra 10% off if you use my link. So head over to Novitus, man, and pick up Ode, formerly Ode, Lyric, and Serenade from Novitus Parfums, because these two would actually work on this list, but you know I don't put my fragrances on lists, so let's keep it moving. All right, so the first fragrance that I want to talk about today, this is a very addicting scent to me. And oddly enough, when I first smelled it, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but as my taste kind of evolved in the whole nine, and I started to appreciate certain other elements of fragrances, like how natural a fragrance can smell, how photorealistic it can be, this became something that one of those fragrances that I always love to smell. This when I go into my collection and I'm walking by my collection, this is when I like to stop. You know, it's like that fragrance say, stop and smell the roses. But this fragrance is from the House of Creed, and this one is called Irquois Europa from Creed. And man, we're getting to the season where it's actually gonna be time for me to wear this one, because this is a spring and summer staple. Oh man, and it just smells so photorealistic, like you're sitting by the ocean. It has this very oceanic vibe with oranges, mandarin, You have some grapefruit, some lemon. Again, a melange of citrus notes. I always describe this fragrance this way. It's like you're sitting by the ocean. You have a basket of fruits. You have lemon, you have grapefruit, mandarin oranges, and you just take that, slice them right down the middle, sit that basket by the ocean and just take in that air. As the air and the breeze, this oceanic sea breeze is coming across the ocean, it's coming right across the top of those citrus fruits and hitting you right here. That's exactly what this smells like, man. Stuff is phenomenal, man. So this is one that I always like to put my nose on for no reason at all. Just walking by my fragrances, want to stop and take it in. This is one I like to smell from the House of Creed. Again, this is called Europa. All right, guys, this next fragrance on the list is from the House of Givenchy, and this one is called pikovayadama. I talked about this fragrance here recently, man, and it's just that clean, soapy aldehydes in the opening of this fragrance. It's so clean and fresh. It's captivating how good this stuff smells, man. If you're a person that likes a very clean, fresh, soapy scent, this is one that you got to put your nose on. Now, it is expensive, so again, guys, just sample it. But if you like aldehydes, then this is one that I really feel like you need to put your nose on because you're going to love this fragrance. It smells phenomenal. Can't get enough of it. This is definitely elite juice right here. So make sure you put your nose on this from the House of Givenchy. This is pikovayadama. All right, guys, the next fragrance on this list, oddly enough, is kind of reminiscent of Europa, even when you look at the bottle. But this one is from the House of Roger Parfums, and this is called Oceania. Oceania, man. And it's kind of similar. They don't smell alike. This one has more of a salty sea kind of vibe to it, where this is more of a ocean breeze. If that makes sense, that's more like a sea breeze, ocean breeze. This is more salty kind of aquatic thing, but the opening is very similar. It has the melange of citrus notes. You have the lemon, the lime, the mandarin orange, the grapefruit. So in that way, they're kind of similar, but again, instead of it going more of a sea breeze kind of vibe, this one goes salty, sea aquatic, but it smells absolutely phenomenal, man. Photorealistic, as if you are sitting right there by the ocean. So this is one that you should put your nose on because again, this is one, if you like a nice aquatic, but a photorealistic aquatic kind of scent, put your nose on this one from the House of Givenchy. Again, this is called Oceania. All right, guys, the next fragrance on the list, this one actually comes from the House of Decants. Now, this one's actually marketed towards women, but you guys know, there are certain fragrances that, even though it could be marketed towards women, a lot of people look at fragrances as being, genderless. So it's not like, only men or only women could wear certain fragrances, but this one is marketed towards women. But I'm telling you, these kind of little secret weapons for me, man, sometimes when I want to throw on something a little bit different and really be attention catching, this is one of them. And this is from the House of Acqu, and this is called Forbidden Games. Forbidden Games, and what this smells like is a watermelon Jolly Rancher. And it's funny, I think the first time Ms. Bowtie smelled this fragrance, that's the reference she made, and it's just stuck in my mental because that's exactly what this smells like. It smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. It just smells phenomenal. It's a very captivating scent. Again, for me personally, one that I can smell over and over and over. I go into my fragrance collection, I'm sitting there, and this is one I just like to pick up and take it all in. Ah, it smells good, man. From the House of Decants, again, this is called Forbidden Games. All right, guys, this next fragrance on this list, I've talked about this fragrance a few times here recently. It is phenomenal. You talk about an invigorating scent. From the House of Cyr, this one is called Ode Janjam. Ode Janjam from the House of Cyr. Again, Alberto Marias is the perfumer for this line. This is his fragrance brand. This brand hasn't gotten a lot of traction in the fragrance community. There are some people that have talked about it, but it hasn't gotten a lot of traction yet. But I think it will in due time because these fragrances from this house are absolutely amazing. I purchased this one from Saks, I think it was. And what it stands for is ginger water. So that's the translation of the name of the fragrance. And again, it smells phenomenal. Again, you got that ginger. Ginger is kind of spicy. So you get that kind of spiciness going on, but it's super clean, invigorating, and uplifting at the same time. I will say this now, and I've always said it. Alberto Marias does great with fresh fragrances. This is no different, man. You talk about a scent that you can just put your nose to and it makes you happy. That's this fragrance right here in a bottle. So if you guys get a chance to check it out, check this one out from the house of Givenchy. This is called Ode Janjam. All right, the next fragrance on the list, guys, comes from the house of Fragrance Du Bois, and this is called Heritage. Heritage. This is another fragrance that features the notes of aldehydes. And I love aldehydes. This is very clean, very floral. Again, I already know some guys will say this is not their cup of tea. But trust and believe, man, if you don't mind just smelling clean with a little bit of floral, this is an amazing scent to smell. Again, quality through and through. But I love smelling this one because it's just another one that kind of just makes me happy when I smell it. It smells so clean. It smells, you know, you get that soapiness there as well. So it's just a very uplifting fragrance. And I like to do that from time to time. And that's one of the things I use fragrance for. I could be going through, you know, things and that's not positive. I'll put it that way. And I like sometimes to resort to my fragrances. This is something that I love. And there are certain scents that can kind of help change my mood. This is one of them. So check it out. Get a sample of it. It is expensive, but get a sample of this, man. Again, just like I said with pikovayadama, if you like aldehydes, you'll like this from the house of Fragrance Du Bois. Again, this is called Heritage. All right, guys, the next fragrance that I just love to smell is a very addictive scent as well. This one is from the house of Initio Parfums, and this one is called Initio Side Effect. Side Effect. This is that rum, cinnamon, vanilla combination. Kind of the same things you find in stuff like Angel Share. You guys know I love those kind of scents that have the booze in it with the cinnamon and the vanilla. This kind of stuff just works for me, and this stuff smells phenomenal. Oh man, I could smell this one all day, man. Again, it's just another one that's one of those very addicting kind of fragrances, kind of scent profiles that I enjoy. So I know you guys have heard about this one, but it's one that I love to put my nose on from time to time for no reason at all. From the house of Initio Parfums, this is Side Effect. All right, guys, now the next fragrance up on this list, this one actually comes from the house of BDK Parfums, and this is Charnel. Charnel, and this one is really about sandalwood and fig. So it's creamy on top of creamy. Sandalwood and fig are the primary two notes I get from this. It smells absolutely phenomenal, man. I love the way this stuff smells because I love both fig and I love sandalwood, and both of those at the forefront in this fragrance. So when you get a chance as well, guys, check this one out from the house of BDK Parfums. This one is called Charnel. All right, guys, now the next fragrance up on the list, this actually comes from the house of Novices Parfums, and this is called The Key. The Key, and this one was done in collaboration with my guy Big Beard Business, man. If you like a scent that is going to be perfect for the summertime, you got to get your hands on this stuff right here. You talk about another fragrance that's very bright, and again has that kind of invigorating nature going to it, because it opens up with, you have bergamot, so you have citruses on the top, you have lemon, you have grapefruit as well, but then you have this ginger, kind of gingery kind of accord in the middle of it, so it gives a little bit of spicy kick to it, but fresh at the same time. Ginger gives a spicy freshness to fragrances, in my opinion. And this kind of, when I talked about Ode Janjam from Givenchy, the ginger in it just gives this life to it, this kick, this kind of fizzy, spicy, fresh kick to it. And when you combine that with those citruses in the opening of this fragrance, the grapefruit, the lemon, the bergamot, stuff is absolutely phenomenal, man. Oh my gosh. Guys, you gotta put your nose on this one, man. Again, this is from the house of Novices Parfums, done in collaboration with my guy, Big Beard Business. This is called The Key. All right, guys, and last but not least on this list of fragrances that are very addicting. The smell is very addictive. This one is from the house of Givenchy, and this one is called Kobe. This is called Kobe. Now, you guys know this, or you may not know this, I'm gonna tell you now, I love neroli. And this is a neroli bomb, man. But you have neroli and you have this very kind of thick sweetness on the base of the fragrance, so it's kind of contrasting in a way, but man, it is just something that works. This is a phenomenal fragrance. It's very unique, and that's one of the things that really draws me to this one. So check this one out as well, guys, from the house of Givenchy. This is called Kobe. All right, guys, that's it, man. That's my time. I hope you enjoyed this video today, as I gave you 10 fragrances from my collection that are very addicting. As always, I appreciate your time and attention to these videos. You guys don't have to watch, but you do, and I sincerely appreciate that. And don't forget to make sure you take a few moments and go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you're sharing these videos out to some other folks that you think could use this information or find it entertaining. Because I'm your guy, Darian. I'm the Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I love to look good, and of course, I love to smell amazing. So until next time, guys, keep looking good, keep smelling even better. I'll catch you on the flip side.